Laker fans, what's going on? My name is Sammy Long. This is another Laker preview video, doing one for every game this season, kind of getting everybody ready for the upcoming Laker matchup and some things to look out for. So later in the video, we will do a preview of Atlanta. The Lakers will be in Atlanta taking on the Hawks. But first, let's get to that thing the other night. I mean, where do you even start? It was disgraceful performance. It was pretty pathetic. Stu and Billy Mack were on the broadcast talking about they compared the defense to Swiss cheese, which it was. I mean, it looked like everybody outside of LeBron and Max Christie didn't seem like they cared to play or show up to even be there. They looked out of it. The crazy thing is the Lakers got out to I believe it was a 6-point lead early. LeBron had the first 6 points. They looked like they were kind of putting some things together, and then it was just an absolute avalanche. And there was nothing to stop it. And AD had a terrible night. He after averaging like 31, 32 points per game before that Nuggets game, the kind of first blowout the Lakers have suffered this year by that Nuggets third quarter on that Saturday a couple weeks ago, he's averaged a measly 18 points. So he really hasn't been getting it done. He had 8 points, 3 of 14 shooting. As I mentioned, LeBron showed up, 29 points, 12 of 18 after coming off, his rough 3-4 game stretch where everyone was kind of talking about him being washed. Rui had a pretty good night, 6 of 7, 14 points. D'Lo, 12 points, 5 of 13. Dalton Connect only took 4 shots, had 2 points. Gabe Vincent had 9 points, but shot 11 shots, only hit 3 of them. Max Christie, I really enjoyed watching. 11 points, 4 of 8 from the field, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. The only reason that game didn't get out of hand even earlier was that Max Christie was rebounding. In the second quarter there, Max Christie got some really clutch rebounds that kind of kept them in it, and it seemed like, JJ was giving him time because he wanted to be out there. D'Lo just lackadaisical. AD lackadaisical, kind of just running through the motions. Connect wasn't kind of firing like he normally does, and it didn't look super confident. So it was terrible. I mean, they let Jimmy Butler do whatever they wanted. They were giving easy buckets, turning the ball over. Basically, whatever could go wrong did go wrong. I mean, Tyler Herro looks like he should win the MVP when he played the Lakers. I mean, it was ridiculous. Looking at the 3-point numbers alone, the Lakers shot 5 of 22 from 3 for 22.7%. The Heat shot 24 of 47 from 3 for 51.1%. They hit 19 more threes than the Lakers. 19 more threes. I mean, it is just bad. Terrible performance. We're going to try to move on, because that's what you got to do. But it's very depressing. I mean, I thought the Lakers would come out in that game and have a lot of heart because they got blown out in Minnesota by 29, and it felt like it couldn't get any worse. Well, it did get worse. They lost by 41. So there's a 70-point loss margin in the last 2 games. I think the crazy thing about this team is that it's so negative right now, and they have a winning record. They're 12 and 10, and it sure as hell doesn't feel like that. It feels like they're 2-6 in their last 8 games. Feels like the bottom's dropped out, and they've been playing some of the worst basketball in the league, but they do have a winning record. So it's kind of crazy. You put one game in perspective. The Lakers certainly do have problems, and they need to get it fixed fast because this is the kind of thing. Again, I mentioned in my last video, and Alan keeps talking about the postgame show. It's one thing to lose by 5 in Miami. It's one thing to lose by 10 in Minnesota. Tough games. Obviously those teams aren't performing up to the level of where they should be, but there's a lot of talent on those rosters, so I get it. Losing by 41 points is hard. I mean, that's it. That's effort. Like, no team in the NBA should lose by 41 points. That just shouldn't happen unless you're literally walking through the motions, throwing lazy passes, not even trying on defense. I mean, how many transition easy buckets weren't even contested from the Heat? It would look like layup lines out there. So we're going to move on from that. Obviously, pathetic performance. We're going to get into some of the reasons why I think this is happening. Shooting and defense optional. I got some stats on this. The defense, the Lakers are being outscored by 3.9 points per 100 possessions on the season. I mean, it's just that they're not getting stops. The Lakers defense essentially needs the other team to have an extremely bad shooting night because no one really plays on-ball defense because Jared Vanderbilt's hurt. Cam Reddish is there, but if the Lakers get down in a game, Cam Reddish can't really be playing because he offers you nothing offensively. And a weird stat, Anthony Davis has actually been struggling a little bit. He kind of got in the news after complaining about not having a defensive player of the year, again, among his career accolades. The Lakers are actually giving up more when Anthony Davis is on the floor. Now, this is not all his fault. Obviously you have a 40-year-old LeBron who clearly is conserving energy throughout the game and playing defense to try to do it in the fourth quarter. Austin Reeves hasn't been playing. D'Lo, we all know, just plays no defense. Rui's not been playing very good defense recently at all. And really everyone on there. It's funny. People destroy Austin Reeves for not playing defense, and he doesn't. But you see what happens when he's not there. Like, one thing you can't say about Austin Reeves is that he doesn't give effort, because he gives effort. Austin Reeves tries. He's just slow, and he can't stay in front of guys. But Austin Reeves definitely gives it every night, and I think you're seeing it when he's off, because I've always defended D'Lo, but it is getting a little ridiculous. The kind of walking, kind of feels like it's jogging, like we're at a scrimmage at the Rec, and the Heat seem to take the game seriously. Minnesota seemed to take the game seriously. A lot of the Lakers just simply didn't. Outside of, again, Max Christie and LeBron James, didn't see a lot there. After Wednesday's performance, the defensive rating, points allowed per 100 possessions, it got to 118. Only the Utah Jazz, New Orleans Pelicans, and Washington Wizards are worse. Obviously, none of those teams are good or even in playoff contention. It's kind of a kudos to the Lakers, the fact that they've won 12 games with the offense. It shows you how good the offense has been. Not necessarily the three-point. Even with Reeves and connecting the rotation, the Lakers are 27th in the league in threes per game and tied for 19th in three-point percentage. So, the way to help the defense is to play Gabe Vincent and Cam Reddish. But Gabe Vincent hasn't found his stroke yet, and Cam Reddish doesn't really offer you anything offensively. So when Connect and Reeves are playing, those guys got to be scoring, because that you're already giving things up defensively that you're just not going to be able to have, but by them being on the floor. So they got to start hitting, or something's got to give. Lakers either got to start playing defense, or they got to outscore everyone. And this is just one of those games where you have to flush it. The Lakers have certainly heard the noise. I thought the Lakers would come out and perform against Wednesday. I'm really hoping they come out and perform against Atlanta. They need to. They need to get a win badly. I mean, this team can't afford to keep going down this hole. JJ Redick said he doesn't feel like the Lakers are, quote, together as a group right now, especially during huddles. That's interesting. I don't know what that's a shot at. Is that a shot at D'Angelo Russell? Is that a shot at LeBron? Thinking, hey, it's JJ calling the shots, and he's not really listening. I don't know. I have no idea what that is. Maybe a lot of these guys are kind of packing it in, thinking like, hey, I might not be here in a month because it's LeBron and JJ's team. They're going to get me traded. Who knows? I don't know. There's been rumors about leadership issues, locker room issues. I don't know. They got to figure it out. JJ said he was meeting with every member of the staff individually, every member of the team individually. I like that. That needs to be happening. Obviously, you had today and the night of the game to do that, and tomorrow during the game, but or before the game, excuse me. They better come out with some fire. I think that's the most important thing against the Hawks, is come out with some fire, because if they don't come out with fire, again, you could lose this team super fast, and it just kind of snowballs. And the Lakers lose 2 more games, and they're tied at 500. So, moving on to the Hawks, we're gonna try to flush those last 2 games. We're gonna try to be positive. Hawks are really on a tear right now. So this is a big game for the Lakers to get back. This is a tough opponent. LeBron is questionable. Reeves will miss his 4th straight game, which really sucks, because the Lakers have not fared very well without him. Even that Jazz win didn't look great. They're on a 5-game win streak. Their last game, they beat the Milwaukee Bucks 119-104. They were plus 150 dogs in that game too, plus 4.5 underdogs. Put on a big performance. They're playing good ball. They're going to be playing the New York Knicks in the NBA Cup in the East bracket. So maybe you catch them kind of thinking about that. Obviously, Trae Young and New York, those two don't like each other. Obviously, with Atlanta beating Trae Young and then beating the Knicks in the playoffs a few years ago, and them chanting F Trae Young in the crowd. So maybe they're kind of looking at that in the NBA Cup. And to the Atlanta Hawks, it's probably a big deal for them because they haven't won anything in a long time. So, the NBA Cup means a lot to the teams like the Orlando Magic or the Atlanta Hawks, the Houston Rockets, teams that don't have, banners, don't have a lot of banners to show for. So maybe they're kind of looking ahead at that, looking specifically at this team. Arisha, I apologize if I messed that up. I practiced a few times, but he's the number 1 overall pick. He's been great. I had a little rocky start, but he had 12 points the other night, but he had 33 points a few weeks ago. You see the talent there. He's going to be a really good player. And we're all kind of getting familiar with him because he played overseas The first couple of picks played overseas, so we didn't get to see him in college basketball and March Madness. But all the talent's there. He's only going to keep getting better and better. Jalen Johnson, a really nice player. He had 23 points the other night against the Bucks. Clint Capella, he's been a veteran. We know him. A very good center. He's been linked to the Lakers a lot, actually, in trades in the last few years. Trae Young, that was, the star of this team. Excellent player. He was linked to the Lakers as well. Everyone thought that the Lakers were going to try to trade everyone to get Trae Young to pair with AD and LeBron. That obviously didn't happen. But Trae Young's a really fun player. One of the best pure offensive players in this game today. Dyson Daniels. Onyeka Okongwu comes off the bench. DeAndre Hunter comes off the bench. He's a small forward. He had 20 points the other night. Very good player, tall, lanky. Bogdan Bogdanovic, he had 15 points. Again, sharpshooter, just like his brother. So got to look out for that. And Kobe Buffkin is a young player out of Michigan, I believe. And he had 2 points the other night. But again, very good player. They go 9 deep. So 5 in the starting lineup, 4 off the bench. They're going to bring it. It's a big deal when the Lakers come into town. They know the Lakers are reeling, so they're probably going to go after them and jump on the Lakers early to try to get them out of it and kind of let it snowball. The Lakers got to come out with some fight. You got to see something defensively. These guys got to be trying and firing it up, because the other night it was just, as everyone said, I was watching the post-game show like all you with Allen. It was just lazy, and it felt like they just didn't really care. I hope they have some fight. I hope JJ in these meetings talked to them, kind of got them going. But, you're going to have to score with these guys. This is a team that you better lock in defensively, because Trae Young and Rashashe can go crazy, and Bogdanovic and Hunter are no jokes off the bench. So they can really score. This team is one of the highest scoring teams in the league. So they better find something out. Obviously, don't see Atlanta a ton. They're in the Eastern Conference, but Lakers need to win badly. They need to pull even on this road trip, because if they do win tomorrow, they are 2-2 on the road trip, even though the 2 losses were terrible. But looking for that. So we're gonna end on a positive note. Let's go Lakers. Let's flush it. Let's get that win. Let's get to the 13th win. The Lakers are still, everything's right in front of them. They're right there in the West. The last few weeks have been tough to watch, but hopefully they get it turned around. Alan will get you guys on the post game show and his morning show as well. Crushing it as usual. Love tuning into that. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. Go Lakers. And we'll be back with the next video soon. Thank you.